Alright, what's up, everyone? Let's try that again. Sounded like I had fucking sand in my mouth there. What's up, everybody? This is Terry Walker for Offthemat Wrestling, and this is video 2 of the night. We're going to be jumping right into fan mail. I know what you're thinking. It's not Friday. No, it's not. I'm definitely running late. Business partners through Facebook have definitely been letting me know that every day. So we're going to go right into fan mail today. There will still be another fan mail on Friday. That I do promise you. The schedule is already open for it. But yeah, you guys sent in a lot of good questions this time around. Like I always do, scroll through them, pick some out at random. Sometimes we get good ones, sometimes we get weird ones. And fan mail videos definitely will cover WWE, AEW, NWA, Impact, ECW, old stuff like that. So when I do share them in the groups, don't think, okay, I'm sharing them in a group just for more views. No. If I share them to a group on Facebook, that's because there's a question pertaining to that company. Alright, fair enough. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get into it. I got 6 right now, but there's six pretty good questions, so. Hey Terry, what's your thoughts on the Twitter war between Jim Cornette and Penelope Ford? Wow. Yeah, I actually caught that episode of Cornette. Usually in the morning, really nothing better than some coffee and Cornette. That's just my saying I've always said. I'm also a member of the Cult of Cornette on Facebook. Follow him on Twitter. He retweets a lot of the Off the Mat as well. I watched that video. I found it hilarious because it wasn't the fact of what he did say that pissed off Miro, which made no sense to me at all, because what Jim said pissed off Miro more than it did Penelope's own husband. So, something that might need to be looked into later on down the road. Yeah, sorry if I look disheveled tonight. I'm exhausted. Caesars. Yeah, I found it hilarious when he went off about, stuff he didn't say and could have said. I found it funny. I know a lot of people were mad at me for that, but his insults were top notch and just amazing. My favorite one was if Penelope Ford had as much dicks growing out of her that she's had in her. She looked like a porcupine. The other ones where she's had more dicks in her than a urinal at Madison Square Garden. That made me crack up laughing. But yeah, I thought it was funny. The feud started on Twitter over a misunderstanding, and people got upset over it. So Jim took it to, like he always does. He said, well, fuck it. Here's my apology, pretty much, and gave him a stiff one of those. And why the hell not? It's not what he said that pissed everyone off. So he said fuck it and said what he was going to. And Miro, yeah, even I had to agree with Jim. When you said if he mentioned her again, you're going to come on him like the wrath of God. Does that mean you're going to attack him physically? Were you actually going to drop him out your pants and nut all over him? Give him a baby shower? Or what was it? Yeah, I found it hysterical. Thanks for sending that question in. I definitely keep up with Cult of Cornette videos every day. I get them sent to me on YouTube. I have to watch them. I've done a few video responses. Alright, moving on. And this is one I did scroll and see and thought, I should answer this one on camera. It's really nice. What were your thoughts on Rhino's NWA title run? Honestly, Rhino to me was overlooked for a very long time. I know he had some success in the later years of ECW. I know he had some success in WWE with the hardcore title, during the invasion angle, everything else, but no one really seen Rhino as a main event star at that time, like a singles main event star. And when he jumped ship and went to TNA, he won the NWA title, and not only did he win the title, he put on some great matches for a guy everyone said was never going to be that good. Rhino had great matches with Jarrett, Raven, Abyss, Jeff Hardy, Sabu, or Sabu, as he puts it down in his book. But yeah, his NWA title run, I enjoyed it. I remember being a teenager watching that, and like I said, great matches. I loved the pile driver off the ring apron through a table. His work he did with even Christian for Elevated X. For those of you that don't remember that match, Ultimate X match put, I believe it was 30 feet in the air. Christian sends him crashing. Rhino took the bump perfectly fine. But yeah, his NWA title run to me was another one of those that someone jumps ship to another company that's overlooked, not used right, and gives the big ha-ha and the big fuck off to the company he used to work for by just being himself. Holy shit. And having great matches with it. Sad to see when he lost the title, but he had a great run with the NWA title. Out of a lot of people that held that belt, Rhino was definitely one of those that I remember the most. I think it came a little too late in his career. I do, but man, great matches. Anyone that wants to go back and watch the early years of TNA, watch Rhino's matches, I promise you, coming from a wrestling fan standpoint, coming from a wrestling historian, an analyst, you name it, a podcaster, go back and watch some of those matches and tell me that he did not seem like he deserved to be in the main event. Because honestly, you can't. Great matches, great matches. Alright, moving on. If WWE was to add an ECW wing into the Hall of Fame, who do you think should go in first? There's been a lot of talk of that for a while now that, they should add an ECW wing to the WWE Hall of Fame. I mean, it would give the ECW guys a chance to at least be in the Hall of Fame, because some do deserve it, don't get me wrong. Did a lot for that company, did a lot for the business, brought a lot in, risked their bodies, their health, their life, their careers. That should happen, but I don't necessarily want to see Vince under control of everything. We've seen just how bogus some of the Hall of Fame inductees he already has in there. Drew Carey. God forbid he ever puts Vince Russo in the Hall of Fame. I am done watching WWE. Period. I did do 5 that I would put in there first, honestly. Number 1, Terry Funk. Hands down. I don't think without Terry Funk they would have got ECW off the ground as quick as they did. His barbed wire match with Sabu. Him winning the title at the age he was at the time. 54, I believe. Without Terry, there would have been no ECW. They needed a legend to help them. He was more than happy to do it. It speaks respect and shows just the malice the man had at that age to reinvent himself under hardcore rules. Number 2, and I put him down as my number 2. A lot of people were like, why? Shane Douglas wins the NWA title, throws it down. Says, you know what, they can all kiss my ass. Holds up the ECW title, says, I'm ECW champion. Went on to have great feuds with Raven. Worked with a lot of people. Sandman. Shane Douglas was another one that I thought was overlooked once he hit WWE, and I don't blame him for being upset when he threw that belt down. I got it, A lot of us understood. A lot of us were like, what the fuck? He just spit on Heritage. He just spit on the NWA. And no, he was really giving the finger and the up yours to people that always overlooked him. Number 3, Sabu. Obvious reasons. Barbed wire match. Sabu. His feud with Taz. Him and RBD always mixing up. Sabu just is ECW to a whole. Just like number 4, RBD. Without RBD, he wouldn't have ECW. And also the longest ECW alum, the guy that's bled, sweat, everything. ECW for even long after it went out of business. yes, Hardcore Justice, One Night Stands, I get it. Tommy Dreamer, number 5. Those would have, in my book, would be the first 5 that I'd like to see in an ECW Hall of Fame wing. If that ever happens. Alright, moving on. This will be for the NWA fans of Off the Mat Wrestling. A lot of you comment and really do appreciate everything. Probably going to upset a lot of you with this one. After seeing NWA back for the attack, what's your opinion? Alright. To me, it just looked cheap. The pay-per-view looked cheap. The production looked cheap. The technical difficulties they had because of the cheap production. That and the fact they've recently lost so much of their talent. You got to look at it and go, who's left? I honestly think if all this left and said, I don't want to do this no more, I'm done working for this company, and dropped the belt, walked away, NWA would be in a worse hole than they are now. I'm a big NWA fan, I always have been. You know, late 70s, 80s, early 90s. I loved NWA, I really did. Still do. I watch Power when I can. But watching back for the attack, they've lost so much talent. Pay-per-view wasn't really that good. The matches they had on the card were, I think I gave the highest one was a 7, and that was literally the main event because Aldis, and I still call him Sandow, I know that's not his name now, but Aldis and Stevens showed a lot of heart for what they were doing in that main event. They tried their damnedest to put on a good match for the fans that got the pay-per-view. But honestly, without some of the guys that they have, I don't think Billy Corgan has an NWA. He is literally scraping the bottom of the barrel for the talent he has. I will admit he's working with what he has, don't get me wrong. But I don't see the NWA ever coming back to as prestigious as it once was. I don't. At least not under Corgan's ruling. And after seeing how he's run the NWA, I'm kind of honestly glad he did not end up buying out Impact when that whole deal was going on. Although I don't like that, who I call Freddie Finger Fucked Don Callis. And what he's doing right now, he needs to go. Impact should honestly sell out. It's never going to be what it once was. Once Hogan and Bischoff showed up, they raped that company for as much money as they could. Let a lot of the younger talent go. I mean, they didn't even re-sign Jay Lethal to a contract. That had to be the stupidest decision I've seen in a long time in wrestling, because Jay Lethal is an amazing star. Great guy even outside the ring. Very nice, very humble, amazing talent. But yeah, NWA just is not going to ever be what it once was. Back for the attack. It should have been named Back for the Slap, because to me it was a slap in the face to a lot of the NWA fans. Like, if this is all he can do and promote and book, and this is all he has, then you just need to hang it up for a while. Close it down, get some serious talent, actually pay them, put some money up, open up the pockets, get a good roster, and then try and come back. Right now, what you're doing is not working, and it's painfully obvious. I love NWA Power. The matches are good, but you need better production. I understand you just got on a new streaming service, and for you NWA fans, I'm with you. I'm hoping this works out better for them. I really do. Is it going to? Probably not. But I really do hope it does, because I'd like to see NWA get back to where it was at one time. It just remains to be seen. Alright, moving on before I piss any more of you fans off. Name your favorite tag team ever. I think we've actually gone through this. I did a video of my top 10 tag teams. A lot of people were upset I left some out, but I was asked to do my personal, top 10. But honestly, number one to me will always and will be Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors. To me, that's my personal favorite, my favorite tag team ever. Coming in second, close to that, is obviously Midnight Express. Without the Midnight Express, you don't have a lot of other tag teams that they've wrestled and put over, got over, worked with. So for their contributions to the wrestling company and wrestling as a whole, number 2 was Midnight Express. So yeah, Legion of Doom, Midnight Express, 1 and 2. That'll always be in my book. That won't ever change. Alright, and moving on to the last question of the fan mail for tonight. Like I said, there will be another fan mail on Friday night. I guarantee that. I already got some more questions for you, the awesome fans I have here. Should Jake the Snake have had a WWE title run in the 80s to early 90s? Or should he have had a title run when he came back after winning King of the Ring instead of Stone Cold Steve Austin? Late 80s, I could see him having a title run as a heel. The problem with Jake was, and this has been backed up by a lot of people that knew him back then, a lot of people said he wasn't reliable. He was either drunk, on something, had a lot of personal demons to work out. 80s, I loved him. I thought he was a damn good heel, could play the mind games better than anybody, still to this day cuts a great promo. In the ring, yeah, maybe he wasn't the biggest guy. He was in decent shape, don't get me wrong. Had a moveset that worked for him. He didn't really need a lot of flashy moves. He would already be inside your head psychologically and just tear you apart. So in the 80s, yeah, I could definitely see him having a world title run. I don't think Vince would have taken the title off Hogan at the time, or Savage. I would have rather have seen Savage with the title, and during Savage and Jake's feud, Jake beats him for it. I think that would have been a better way to put the title on Jake, even if it was, a 1 month run, whatever. I really think Jake the Snake deserved the title around that time. Now, him coming back and having a title run in the 90s when he entered the King of the Ring and got beat by Austin, I think it was a smarter thing to do to have Austin go over. Because, look where we went with Stone Cold from there. Huge stardom. Jake was definitely, towards the end, was slowing down. Don't get me wrong, even as a kid then, I loved the fact he was back. I grew up watching all the older wrestlers. Wrestling shows, UWF, Mid-South, Championship Wrestling from Florida, Jim Crockett Productions, all of them, all the older shows, I would have been known before. I was pretty much raised by my grandparents as a child, so grandfather was a big wrestling fan. He's only got me into it. Watched the Chi-Town Rumble with Flair and Steamboat. To this day, I haven't seen very many matches ever top that, let alone if there is one in my book. But yeah, Jake the Snake coming back in the 90s, having a title run, no, just to me it wouldn't have made sense. It would have looked like it was a mercy giving. In the 80s, yes. 90s, no. That is my fan mail videos for the day. I will be back with you guys Friday for another one. Stay tuned. As always, like, subscribe, comment, keep sending me in questions. I'm more than happy to answer them since I have time. 5 kids and a lot of problems lately, health-wise. I mentioned before in another video. So yeah, just going to keep sending them in. I'll do my damnedest to keep getting videos out, keep the Facebook partners happy, keep all the groups happy. This is Terry Walker saying, have a good night. See you guys next time.